You tithe. You pray over your finances. You've read every Christian money book on the shelf. But somehow, the account is still empty at the end of every month. And you've started wondering, quietly, where nobody can hear you, God, am I doing something wrong? Why do I see women who don't even know you driving the car I've been praying for, living in the house I've been fasting for, walking in the peace I've been crying for? Sister, I want you to hear me carefully. Your money problem is not a faith problem. It's not a favor problem. It's a blueprint problem. Because there's a woman in the Bible, God himself picked her, whose name we don't even know. But God made sure her habits were written down in Scripture for 3,000 years, so that women like you and me would have a map. Her name is not recorded, but her net worth is. Her face is not drawn, but her business portfolio is. Her voice is not heard, but her children still rise up and call her blessed. She is the Proverbs 31 woman. And if you're watching this, God did not bring you here by accident. Because by the time we finish today, you are going to know the 7 habits she practiced. Habits that turned an ordinary woman into a real estate investor, a textile merchant, a farm owner, and a CEO. All while fearing the Lord. And here's what I want you to ask yourself before we start. Are the habits in my life right now the habits of a woman God can trust with wealth? Or am I praying for a harvest I haven't planted the seeds for? Don't answer that out loud. Just hold it in your heart, because Proverbs 31 is not a poem for perfect women. It is a blueprint for blessed ones. Let's open the word. Habit number 1. She fears the Lord before she touches the money. Proverbs 31 verse 30. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Now stay with me. In Hebrew, the phrase is yirat Yahweh. It doesn't mean being scared of God. It means reverence so deep that it shapes every decision before the decision is even made. It means before she budgets, she bows. Before she earns, she honors. Before she spends, she asks. And this is where most Christian women miss it. You are asking God to bless your money, but you haven't given him your money. You tithe leftovers. You pray over bills you've already mismanaged. You want God to show up at the end, but he wants to be first. Look at Hannah. 1 Samuel chapter 1. She wanted a son so badly she couldn't eat, couldn't speak. And people thought she was drunk because she was praying so hard. But watch what she said. Lord, if you give me a son, I will give him back to you. She promised God her greatest blessing before she received it. And when Samuel was born, she didn't hold him tight. She handed him over. She gave her first fruits, the thing she prayed 7 years for, back to the God who gave it. And God multiplied her. 5 more children. A son who became the prophet who anointed 2 kings. Sister, you cannot outgive God, but you also cannot outsmart him. He is not impressed by your offering if he is not first in your heart. Habit number 2. She works with willing hands, not weary ones. Proverbs 31 verse 13. She selects wool and flax and works with willing hands. The Hebrew word for willing is chefetz. It means delight, pleasure, joy. She doesn't drag herself to work. She doesn't complain about Mondays. She doesn't quit the moment things get hard. She works with her whole heart because she knows her labor is worship. Most women pray for a promotion they are not working like they deserve. You want the harvest of a diligent woman while operating with the habits of a distracted one. God will not reward what you are not faithfully doing. Look at Ruth. She was a widow, a foreigner. She had nothing, but she went into the fields to pick leftover grain, the most humble labor available in that society. And the foreman of the field told Boaz, she has worked from morning till now, only resting a little. She was not paid hourly. Nobody was watching. But she worked like God himself was her boss. And because of that one habit, diligence, Boaz noticed her. A kinsman redeemer noticed her. A king came from her bloodline. And the Messiah himself is listed in her genealogy. Hear me carefully. Ruth's breakthrough did not come from praying harder. It came from working faithfully where God had placed her. Habit number 3. She plans before she spends. Proverbs 31 verse 16. She considers a field and buys it. From her earnings, she plants a vineyard. The Hebrew word for considers is zamam. It does not mean to think casually. It means to calculate, to evaluate, to study before committing. She did her research before she signed anything. She looked at the field, she measured the soil, she counted the cost, and then, and only then did she open her hand. Most Christian women are making financial decisions on emotion. You saw it, you wanted it, you bought it, and then you prayed, "Lord, please stretch my money." But God is not your financial cleanup crew. He is your Father, and He expects you to use the wisdom He already placed inside you. Look at Abigail. 1 Samuel chapter 25. Her foolish husband insulted David, and David was coming with 400 armed men to wipe out her entire household. She had minutes to act. And what did she do? She didn't panic. She didn't post about it. She calculated. 200 loaves of bread, 2 skins of wine, 5 dressed sheep, 5 measures of grain, 100 raisin clusters, 200 fig cakes. She knew exactly what was in her storehouse, and she deployed it with precision. She saved her entire household because she was already a woman of plans before the crisis came. You cannot plan in the middle of a storm. You plan in the calm so you can survive the storm. Mid-video action call. Pause right here. If this is meeting you where you are, I want you to do something simple. Drop one word in the comments. Blueprint. Not because it's trending, but because you are telling heaven, I am ready to build my life on God's pattern, not my feelings. Just one word. Blueprint. Habit number 4. She builds more than one stream. Proverbs 31 verses 14, 16, 18, and 24. She is like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. She buys a field. She plants a vineyard. She makes linen garments and sells them. She supplies sashes to the merchants. Count it with me. Real estate, agriculture, manufacturing, international trade, wholesale supply. This is not one woman with one job. This is one woman with a portfolio. And this is where tradition has lied to a lot of women. You have been taught that ambition is worldly, that wanting more is greed. But look at Scripture. God Himself inspired this woman's portfolio to be written down. He celebrated her enterprise. He did not rebuke it. Look at Lydia. Acts chapter 16. She was a dealer in purple cloth. Purple was the luxury color. Only royalty and the wealthy could afford it. So she was running a high-end textile business in a Roman city, with her own house, her own servants, her own customers. And when Paul came to Philippi with the gospel, it was Lydia who opened her home. It was Lydia who hosted the apostles. It was Lydia whose business funded the first church in Europe. Her enterprise was not a distraction from the kingdom. Her enterprise became the kingdom's foundation. Sister, God is not calling you to be broke. He is calling you to be useful. And sometimes the answer to your financial prayer is not more money falling from the sky. It is another seed falling from your own hand. Habit number 5. She prepares before the storm arrives. Proverbs 31 verse 21 and 25. She has no fear for her household when it snows, for they are all clothed in scarlet. She can laugh at the days to come. Read that again. She laughs at the future, not because she's naive, not because she's lucky, but because she has already prepared. When winter came, her family was warm. When the unexpected hit, she wasn't scrambling. The reason she could laugh at tomorrow is because she did the work yesterday. Most women today are one emergency away from panic. One car repair, one hospital bill, one job loss. And when it comes, they post, "Please pray for me." But God already gave you the warning. He already gave you Joseph. He already gave you the ant in Proverbs 6. Go to the ant, you sluggard. She stores her food in summer and gathers at harvest. Look at the Shunammite woman. 2 Kings chapter 8. The prophet Elisha told her, "A famine is coming. Leave your land for 7 years." Most people would have argued. Most people would have said, "But this is my home. This is my inheritance." But she did not hesitate. She packed up her entire household and moved. 7 years later, when she came back, the king restored everything she had and paid her for the produce of the land during the years she was away. She listened to wise counsel. She prepared. She was restored and rewarded. God is not only going to bless you for your faith, He is going to bless you for your foresight.